56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
If you like pina coladas.
On AM 560, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Check it out right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now,
The only man to give death a near Johnny experience. Johnny Harden.
Happy Friday's Eve, baby. That's right, but it's also Grizzlies Eve because at 3 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, what's going down? It's Portland that's going down because Grizzlies, Trailblazers happening. We got NBA basketball happening today. No, like that's not a joke. Real deal, Holyfield. And then we have a special one in the nightcap tonight. Like the Jazz and the Pelicans is just kind of like at 4:30 Central Time, by the way. It's kind of to tease you, to get you.
Solid appetizer.
It's an app. Yes, I would say not. I don't know if I would go solid. It's kind of like a string cheese or whatever, mozzarella sticks. You know what I'm saying? Except for if you get them at that one joint over in Cooper and Young. Have you ever had the cheese sticks over at? Oh my gosh, they're like as big as my arm. The best cheese sticks in the history of the world, best ever. But outside of that, I consider the Jazz and the Pelicans as cheese sticks. The big game is the Lakers and the Clippers. And tomorrow, the real deal Holyfield is going to be, of course, during the middle of the day. And this is why the NBA gets it. How many people are at home right now? How many people are sitting around working from home? Guess how many people are going to be able to pull this bad boy up? I love what the NBA is doing. I think baseball needs to do a heck of a lot more day stuff. People are at home watching TV. People at home don't want to pay attention to anything that's going down, like with The View. I know they're sick of CNN and Fox and MSNBC and ABC. Anytime you talk news, it's scary. The only thing that's worthy of watching right now, there is John Lewis is being, you had President Obama, President Clinton, you had President Bush, and John Lewis after his main tour that he's been going around. Rest in peace to the conscience of the Congress and one of the all-time civil rights leaders. Like, that's something worthy of watching, of course, today, especially. But basketball has it right. They're going to start tonight, and then guess what? They have basketball, on a Friday, all day long, all day strong. I want to ask you a question. What in the heck are people doing? So at 1:30 Central Time, you're working at home, you're doing some stuff, you're typing something. You wouldn't want to put like a Magic in the Nets on in the background? I know I would. What about the Suns and the Wizards? 3 o'clock. That's for people who are not Grizzlies and Trailblazers fans because that's going down. There's all kinds of stuff. And then the Celtics, Bucks tomorrow, Kings, Spurs, Rockets, Warriors. Basketball is back. And dadgummit, man. They got it going. But one thing, before we get into the leadoff, I want to remind you, since basketball is back, Ron Tillery will be joining me today at 1:30. Here in about 24 minutes, we're going to rock, and we're going to talk about what's going down in the bubble. I'm going to ask him, why didn't Magic City, for the start of this thing, send like 100, like thousands of wings down to the bubble?
I was thinking that catering. They need to bring in some catering.
Like cater the bubble because they're already getting such free press. They'd get more free press, and people be talking about. Literally, like right now, I'm dead serious. I know we're going to take a road trip down to the ranch, but maybe we should take a little pit stop at Magic City on the way. You know what I mean? Like, hey, don't you have to fly out of Atlanta anyway?
Are we getting takeout or dine in?
Oh, we're going to dine in. We're going to dine in. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy everything. I'm a guy who likes, wings, breasts, thighs. I like it all. So I'm dropping in Magic City, not just for the wings, for the whole experience. Now, Magic City would be fun, but basketball is going to be on tonight. I'm so excited. If you can't tell, baseball. Now, we will talk a little bit about it. I still can't, there's still some decisions that haven't been made that need to be made. There's also just some interesting things like, oh, hey, Freddie Freeman woke up last night. Did y'all see that? Atlanta Braves look good. Mike wasn't bad for 5 1/3. Only gave up, I think, 2 runs. Didn't get the W. But, man, Freddie Freeman showed out last night.
Marcell Ozuna's been
He can't hit
him.
Oh, dude, no. Before last night, though, remember he went for the first 20 at bats. He was like 2 for 20.
But he's been
Since then he's waking up.
He's
He
been
ain't
their
like
power
Freddie.
guy. I'll
Yeah,
say
that is
much.
true. Ozzie Albies and things like that. Just all I know is right now this Braves team that I was completely all on board. They scared the bleep out of me. They lost 3 straight to the Rays. I mean, they were getting just torched. They came out last night, got 12 hits, scored 7 runs. Freddie Freeman was just, I mean, bam, he was back, and that was very, very important.
And they seem to have a someone opting back in, don't they?
That's where I was getting ready to go. You're a genius, Nick Markakis. He just decided this, and I think it's genius. If you're a 36-year-old man, you're now back healthy, and you're looking at this, and you realize that you're 36 years old, going to be 37 before the season ends. You know that your baseball career is not as, I mean, like he said, I don't know, did you hear his interview by any chance?
The one saying, the one announcing he was coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was about how he just felt bad.
Since he was 4 years old, like all he remembers baseball. I've been talking
He
about
felt
the one
bad watching his team on TV.
on TV. Well, he said the one that I'm talking about was more about. I think he was doing an interview, and it was after he was already announced, and it made that he's coming back. It basically was like sitting at home and watching your teammates, but sitting at home and watching baseball and knowing that you can still compete. And realizing, he said, that I've been playing this game since my earliest memories. Like, my earliest memory is like being a 4-year-old kid having a bat in my hand. And that's when he said that I'm 36. I'm going to be 37 at the end of this year. And he says, I know that I can still compete now, but I don't know how many more years I have an opportunity to play at this level. And he's like, to lose it, I can't give it up. And you know what? As an athlete, Gabe, you have to understand that anybody who's even played high school sports and when that last high school game that you played, and you're not going to play any more games, you know how bad that, I mean, that hurts. Or even like if you're a little league kid but dude, becoming a pro athlete, that's all you've done your whole life. Think about it. Nick Markakis knows nothing but being a baseball player. Realistically, nothing. And then watching it and know that he can compete and know that he doesn't have much more time. So, Braves, you got great, great, great news. You can probably, y'all can definitely lose them. Let's just say that. Y'all are going to be very happy.
Really quick, breaking news out of the MLB.
Whoa. What?
Out of the MLB, just dropped.
I don't know.
Look for that notification before I drop it.
Drop it.
Phillies and Blue Jays have now been postponed after 2 staff members for the Phillies tested positive for COVID-19.
Whoa. So now we got some more postponed games, huh?
Sure do.
Unbelievable. Now, we have got to, like I said, if baseball is going to make this, don't they have to basically go ahead and say, Miami, you're out? You're out! In Philadelphia, where Miami caught all this stuff, they need to be in like almost an incubation period because y'all were on the field with him. No, like, we don't know how long. Maybe somebody's going to catch it asymptomatic.
I will
spread it
say
throughout
this
the
too.
team.
Other teams are going to be like wary of playing them. They're not going to want to jump into a series against the Phillies or the Marlins right now.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I wasn't on drugs, by the way. I thought I wasn't. We got to get Acuna to wake up. He's batting 167. He's doing horrible right now. Horrible. But he's going to wake up because he's too talented. It's Ozzie Albies that I knew that you were thinking of. The second hitter who plays third base. He's been actually, as of late, he's been doing a lot better than my man Ronald maybe. But, Acuna, the best player. In fact, a lot of leagues I saw, he was the second highest player, highest paid player after Mike Trout. But you know what? We got Isaac Simpson, 230. We got Hardenwood. You know what else we got? Ron Tillery, talking basketball, bottom of this hour. I could talk baseball all day, but it's time for me to get in the box because it's time for the leadoff.
It's only right to start with some MLB on this beautiful Thursday. Suspensions.
I like being cool, by the way.
So I saw the MLB report about the suspensions from the Astros-Dodgers, they called it a brawl. Do you consider what you saw there a brawl? I'm just going to start there.
No, unequivocally, it wasn't a brawl.
Now,
it was the MLB's mad for one reason: social distancing was broken.
And I understand that. Now they handed down some
real.
suspensions. They handed down some suspensions. I found a little bit ridiculous, but I'll see what you think. Joe Kelly, the pitcher who actually threw at Bregman and at Correa, 8 games, and the reason that is substantial is it's a 60-game season. That's 21
games,
in a normal 162-game season. Then Dodgers manager Dave Roberts has a game, and then Astros Dusty Baker, their manager, has been fined. Were the punishments too harsh, or was it necessary to send a message that you shouldn't be throwing at the Astros?
Here's the thing. The Astros, I have to go around this question before I can just answer it, okay? The Astros are the luckiest team in the world. Like, period. Think about this. They rigged the 2017. No, they didn't just rig it. They didn't just cheat. They stole the damn thing. Like, the trophy was stolen. They stole it. Did you know, like, they had, like, an operation? Like, it's such a horrible name. Operation, like, cheat code or whatever. Look, what they did in 2017 is so egregious, it makes me disgusted. Listening to Lance McCullers last night complain about Joe Kelly made me want to throw up. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to hear anything from the Astros. Do you?
Absolutely not.
I don't want them to come out there and say, did you see what Lance McCullers said, by the way?
Yeah, but it's at a point where with the Astros, I think a lot of baseball fans just want to see them take their licks and move on.
Yes. Listen, one, they didn't have to give up the 2017 ring. They got all this time pushed away, so it got away from the story because COVID-19 took over. Again, Crane has the trophy. They're champs. All those players got all that money. Remember what I'm saying? The Correa making all that bank. All those players got all those huge salaries. They won all that money. Blah, blah, blah. That's real. And then for McCullers to come out and say Joe Kelly wasn't on the Dodgers, again, I was trying to remind you, idiot. Who did the Astros beat to go to the World Series?
The Red Sox.
And who did Joe Kelly play for?
The Red Sox.
Okay, who feels like he got robbed of a World Series appearance?
Joe Kelly.
Damn right he does. So, hey, Lance McCullers, who told Joe Kelly, you weren't even on the team, be professional. Why don't you in 2017 be professional and not rig the damn, World Series? You know, if I bet that year, I'd be ticked off, and I'm still ticked off just thinking about how the elaborate scheme and how, like what y'all went through. I can't stand Cora, but I can't believe that baseball came this hard because even the umpires didn't even warn the Dodgers. They warned the Astros. And Joe Kelly threw at the Astros and called Carlos Correa, you know what, after he struck out. Now, why? Because the umpires know. This has nothing to do with retribution for the Astros. This all, in my opinion, the reason Joe Kelly got such a large suspension is they're saying, we don't want you guys getting closer than you need to be. We don't want y'all socially, I think this is a coronavirus. Hey, we're trying to save this season. Don't get close to each other, damn it. You know what I mean?
I understand that, and certainly Joe Kelly was the instigator that got the benches to clear. Now, to the NFL, Lamar Jackson made some interesting comments, and obviously one of his teammates who they drafted last year in the first round is Marquise Hollywood Brown. And who's his cousin?
I didn't know that.
Antonio Brown.
Whoa. I thought you said it was Lamar. No. His cousin's really Antonio Brown?
Yeah, Hollywood Brown's cousin is Antonio Brown. And they've been sort of getting together, doing some sort of secretive throwing sessions. Lamar Jackson, Hollywood Brown, and Antonio Brown. Lamar says that he is holding out hope that the Ravens would sign him. Now, I want your thoughts on this. Could Antonio Brown make them better, or is he just far too much of a distraction and have too much baggage with him at the moment?
I would say he's way too much baggage, but a coach like John Harbaugh an organization like that, and I know that Lamar Jackson is a baby in terms of numbers, but I have to tell you this, and I've even said it to Gabe, it feels like young people today, like Gabe is 25. He's like a 45-year-old version of me, and I still got another year to go. At 19, he was probably like 35-year-old me, maybe, hopefully. I don't know. What I'm saying is, young people today are much more mature. Lamar Jackson seems to know what he wants. He's a hard worker. He wants to be great. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He didn't want to just win an MVP. He wants to go farther. I don't think that Lamar Jackson, just because he's young and would have a quarterback who, and Antonio Brown might kind of go off at the lip, but having his cousin on the team and then having a guy like John Harbaugh, not Crazy Jim, but John Harbaugh, who's one of the best coaches in football, I actually think if they could somehow make it work, I think it obviously makes the Ravens a hell of a lot better. I don't think he would be as big of a headache in Baltimore as in most situations because they have a very strong foundation. And by the way, that's still, you can talk about Lamar Jackson and all that stuff, that's still a front office and defensive-oriented coach team.
But based on what their GM had to say, based on the lawsuits that Antonio Brown has on his name right now, I doubt that it will happen. Eric DeCosta, their GM, is probably not going to go that route. I know he's had to comment on it before. He says we're going to keep that in-house, what we think about Antonio Brown. Now, the ACC finally set their schedule. They had a meeting yesterday, and this is what they decided on. 11 games, 10 conference, +1. This is the +1 thing. Yep. 2 built-in bye weeks, championship game either December 12th or December 19th based on one division. They only have one division, and in that division, there will be the top 2 teams that will play in the championship, and that has to be the top 2 teams based on winning percentage. Notre Dame's involved. I think everybody sort of figured that one was coming. They released a schedule with no dates. They just have home and away. And I just want to ask you, are you a fan, given that there's some conferences that have gone completely conference only, no out-of-conference games, are you a fan of the conference +1 schedule?
I'm a fan, kind of, and no. Like hell yeah, I want to see Arkansas and Notre Dame. Like, hell yeah, I want to see these, ACC, SEC rivalries before we actually have to pick who's going to be, playing for the championship. But now that I think that they're going to possibly expand the playoffs, if they shorten the season and not have bowl games, I think we'll be able to find it out. So I don't know if I am a fan, but can I tell you something? It really doesn't matter what the ACC says. You know that why? Because today, like right now as we're talking, do you know who's having a meeting? Everybody, like Sankey, he's meeting. The SEC, they're all meeting today to decide if they're going to do a 10+1. If they say they're only playing in conference, can I tell you something? It doesn't matter what the ACC says. They ain't going to get to play the SEC. So while the ACC made that, you know that they basically just opened up that door and opportunity, and they passed the buck along again too, the Southeastern Conference, and it's going to come down to what are they going to make these decisions. Like today, these decisions are happening. There is a meeting of chancellors, presidents, coaches, all those who are making the final plans happening right now, if you did not know. Like, that's going on. And that's according to David Pascal of the Times Free Press. He made a lot of great, Florida State, Florida, Georgia Tech, Georgia, Louisville, Kentucky, Clemson, South Carolina, all these great games that we constantly think of. If the SEC stays conference only, those games are done. Now, I'm going to ask you this, Gabe Kuhn, because I have to turn this, I'm in the box, and now it looks like you're back in the box, because I want to know, what do you think the SEC is going to do?
I personally think with the SEC, some of those money-making games are
huge.
Those rivalries that are not conference rivalries. You look at Florida State. I think that's a big one. There's others. A&M could play some people in Texas. I think there's a lot of out-of-conference sort of rivalry games that you need to keep on the schedule. South Carolina, Clemson is one of them.
I like all these, but here's the one thing. This is why I'm going to ask you this. This is why I wanted to put you in the box, because a lot of SEC fans who are upset about this, some of the proposals that I have seen leak out, like, say, if these games were canceled, it would be like Tennessee adding Ole Miss and LSU to their schedule, or Georgia adding Arkansas and Mississippi State, Alabama adding Florida and Vanderbilt. Like, seeing more dope SEC football is usually not a bad thing.
No, but again, I think when you look at the +1, it's a lot of regional. There's some regional games there where you're traveling less distance than you are for some conference games. That's where I sit and I say, if you want to go +1, that's cool, as long as the conferences that you're going to be playing against do the same thing.
Do you think they should lower it to 9+1? Do you think they should keep 10 regular season games for this season and then try to get a longer playoff?
Hey, I'll tell you what. These decisions, that type of decision, 9 versus 10, that's a little over my head. I don't know, man. I mean, if you're playing 9, you might as well play 10.
I hear what you're saying
and try to even out the amount of games.
Yeah, that's a good point on that one.
I really don't know.
I guess when I looked at the ACC, and you looked at it, did you realize how much damn traveling the ACC still has to do? We're talking
and now they just added Indiana. They added South Bend.
Like some of the traveling and the spots, like from Florida back all the way up to, all the way up, up northeast in the New York area. Like some of these areas, you're like, damn. Like there's a lot of traveling. I didn't realize how much traveling the ACC actually did.
It goes New York to Florida to
South Bend.
To South Bend now. So they're doing a lot of traveling, just like the American Athletic Conference. That's Texas all the way up into the upper Northeast.
That's true.
Annapolis.
That's true. That is true. Now, with the ACC, I know I didn't really answer your question very well, but I just want to say I think the question's bogus because it's just like the world is. SEC football and college football revolves around the Southeastern Conference, and everybody is waiting on their decision, and that's who's actually going to make the real deal Holyfield. Now, the one thing I also want to ask at 67129, that's 67129 on the text line. Ron Tillery's coming up next, but I'm going to ask you a real quick question. Who's going to win the NBA title? Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? And plus, could Notre Dame actually win the ACC the first year and only year that they might be in it? Or could this be maybe a future to where they expand and we get some of these super conferences after this coronavirus and Corona's sped it up. Think about some of these things. Hit me at 67129, but don't touch that dial. Remember, we got NBA basketball happening tonight. Grizzlies play tomorrow, and the Grizzstorian himself, Ron Tillery's coming up next. This is Sports 56. Never forget MemphisFarmers.com and my good friend Chad Gatlin, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Check out Dave Voloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time on Sports 56. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 96.1 FM and 87.7 FM.
If you're going on vacation, making a college campus visit, or if business takes you out of town, there's just no better place to board your dog than Barks and Recreation, 965 Reddick Cove between Bud Davis Cadillac and the Blue Plate Cafe in East Memphis. Boarding, daycare, grooming, we have the best of everything at Barks. Indoor-outdoor kennels so your family member can go in and out as they please. Indoor and outdoor play areas. 4 walks a day, group play, and individual attention from the best staff in the Mid-South, which includes an overnight staff to ensure the safety and comfort of your pet 24 hours a day. All reasons to choose Barks and Recreation above all other boarding and daycare facilities. BarksDaycare.com or 509-0909. Check us out and make your reservations now at BarksDaycare.com. If your dog could speak, he'd say Barks.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elders Roofing Solutions.
Gateway Tire and Service Center has a beautiful new state-of-the-art location at 5275 Summer Avenue. And for July, the new location on Summer has a great special. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th at no charge. Visit the new Gateway Tire and Service Center with 28 bays for quick service, super safe curbside service, or lounge seating 6 feet apart. Check out gatewaytireandservice.com for coupons too. The new Gateway Tire and Service Center, 5275 Summer Avenue. Call Matt for details, 901-683-8335.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Show me
The way to the next whiskey bar. Why? Because guess what? Sports 56 Happy Hour wants you to celebrate because the NBA is back, baby. That's right. It's really happening. The bubble is going down. Nobody's caught COVID-19. Adam Silver's got this thing on lockdown, baby. And if you want to know about great bets, well, I've already told you, and I've been kind of a little nervous because I was all about, Dwight Howard's so big and JaVale McGee and Anthony Davis. Like, dude, he's a top 5 player in the NBA. And if you look at the stats, people don't even realize he's first in every single statistical category on the Lakers over LeBron James, except for one. And you know what that one is? Assist. He has more points, more rebounds, more steals, and more blocks. But yet, of course, LeBron, who's basically the point forward, has more I would think assists, but that's the only thing that, LeBron leads the team in. Yet people are talking about LeBron being possibly the MVP over Giannis. I don't think so, but I do understand because his basketball smarts. But I am so confused how Anthony Davis can be a top 5 player, but we're killing James Harden and Russell Westbrook. We're smoking all kinds of people. We're putting all kinds of pressure on like a 20-year-old kid. Or how old is Zion? 22 maybe? Like he's a baby. But we're putting all kinds of pressure on this kid to maybe, make it to the 8th seed, and he's still just a young, pup. And I've always wondered, how is it that Anthony Davis has always escaped scrutiny? Well, the best person to talk about that is my very good friend Ron Tillery, the Grisstorian. I'm about to bring him on, but I got to say, it's brought to you by my good friend Chad Gatlin. That's right, MemphisFarmers.com. Never forget, The Power of Farmers, somebody that is cool and, calm and collective. That's Memphis born, Memphis bred, a Memphis man till he's dead, who knows exactly what you need and nothing that you don't. He's straightforward and honest. Give him a call at 901-235-1176. That's 901-235-1176. Or check him out at memphisfarmers.com. But guess what? It's time to talk to my good buddy, Ron Tillery. Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey, nothing much. How you doing?
Man, you know what? I'm actually blessed. By any chance you watch John Lewis today?
I've been watching the Memorial all day.
Oh, man, I figured you did. Good man, good man. So everything going well today?
Oh, yeah. I cannot complain.
Awesome. Yeah. He's such a great man. I can complain about one thing. Again, the anger that the lack of education that we teach in our schools, and how a living legend like him can be around for so many years, yet so many people didn't even know who he was until his passing. And that's just, in my opinion, that's one of the tragedies of also John Lewis. But he did, like he said, there's a thing, I don't know if you know this, but they put it in the New York Times. Did you see that bad boy? That he wrote it before he passed?
Yeah.
Man, I hope anybody and everybody goes and checks that out, because he asked you to do something to go forward. I'll leave it at that. I hope you go and read it, because it's very, very powerful. And heck, he's just a good dude. But
I'll say this, Black history is American history. So I agree with you in terms of what's not taught. But everybody likes to crap on the media a lot, but I'll give them a lot of credit. He's gotten a lot of coverage, and well deserved, and people have gotten up to speed with him really quickly.
Yes, they have. And again, I have learned more about him. Again, it's like I said, since unfortunately his passing. And yes, the media has done a great job in helping me learn. But the sad thing is me growing up and not learning about this living legend. You know what I mean? Like they taught us about Martin Luther King, but John Lewis, I don't even know if he was even mentioned. But anyway, now it's time to talk about what's going down. And now I'm not talking about Magic City, because they're getting as much press as the NBA bubble. And if I was them, I'd be sending hot wings down there to cater the bubble and everything. But I want to talk about the realistic, like how they're doing this, how well they're doing this. Now, I want to say I don't want to go and sit there and call Adam Silver a deadgum genius, because this is one of the few sports where you can take a bunch of people, and I mean they're in Disney World in a bubble where they set up a very beautiful court that's very television. It looks good on TV. You know what I'm saying? They've done a great job. Other sports can't do this. You can't take 1,700 NFL football players and put them in Disney World, you know what I mean, to play football every week. It wouldn't work. So, yes, Adam Silver is getting a lot of praise and being called a genius, but it's working down in this bubble, man. What do you think?
I'm glad it's holding up, because I was skeptical about it going into it. And just having been a beat writer for so long, I am still skeptical when somebody has to leave for a quote-unquote family emergency. I just wonder how many cases that they are going to be willing to identify, or are they just quietly saying, okay, you got to go, and then, bring them back. So, that's the beat writer in me, because a lot of times teams just don't really, in this case, the league, they don't really want to, shoot straight with you, because they don't want to create chaos. Mm-hmm. But the fact that there's no, outbreak, no overwhelming spread is good news. And I never did doubt that they would start, and so it happens tonight.
Oh, and I'm fired up. I don't know about you, but I am so excited to watch some basketball. I've been so fired up watching baseball, like anything that I can get. I'm so excited to watch Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. fight. I can't even tell you how excited I am about that.
Now, what will be interesting, though, Johnny, is like what happens when you have a situation like the Marlins.
See, so that's where I'm saying. You got to cut that. That's like cancer. You cut it out. You got to get rid of it immediately, ASAP.
Yeah. So I mean, they're just going to set the Marlins down. I mean, can they do that in the bubble and kind of delegitimize the season? I don't know. That's going to be very weird if a team experiences so many cases.
Man, I don't know, though. It's going to be wild. I just know that they're handling it pretty good, and they seem like they're light years ahead of other organizations. And though the NBA had, not as much time as necessarily NFL did, and they were in mid-season, feels like the NBA is still light years ahead. Again, I said you can't put 1,700 NFL players in a bubble. There's a difference between 350 players down in a bubble compared to 1,700. And that's just players, not even including coaches. But tonight, I want to ask you this very important question because you are a the Grizz story, and you've been on the beat. You didn't just cover the Grizzlies for basically every year of their existence, but pretty much, up until what 2 years ago, you did pretty much. And
I did 17 of the 19.
17, yeah, man, that's unbelievable. And then, you've been out with Seattle, Chicago. You've covered everything. Now, I want to ask, why is it that Anthony Davis, he's a top 5 player? Why when I turn on the television, I look at, I didn't even realize this because, they're talking about LeBron James, Giannis being the, MVP, who should it belong to? And I'm like, well, damn, I didn't realize Anthony Davis led in points, rebounds, steals, and blocks. LeBron just leads him in assists. That's it. I was a little bit shocked at that. And then I also, watching on TV, you have people who are always attacking James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook hadn't been to another past the first round since Kevin Durant played with him. James Harden, worst game, closeout game player ever. You keep hearing about that. Kawhi Leonard, the greatest thing since sliced bread. You hear these different narratives. LeBron James could get it done in the East. Can he get it done in the West? How does Anthony Davis, a top 5 player, literally slip through everybody's crack when he plays on the damn Lakers?
Yeah. Well, LeBron James has that cachet. And I think what tends to happen is, because this happened to Jordan later in his career with the Bulls, what tends to happen is you just take a guy like Anthony Davis' talent for granted. I mean, what he's doing with the Lakers is exactly what he did in New Orleans in terms of productivity. And I think sometimes he gets overlooked because you're just used to it. And everybody is wanting LeBron seemingly to get this next championship. They want him to be MVP contender every year he plays. And then, like I said, Jordan went through it. I mean, Charles Barkley won it. Karl Malone won it at a time when people still thought it should have been Michael Jordan. So I'm not surprised it's coming down to LeBron and Giannis. But I just think Giannis is having the best year.
Yeah, me too. And they have the best team, with the best record.
Team.
Yeah. So.
And so if I had a vote, it wouldn't even come down to LeBron or AD. It would come down to Giannis.
No, what I'm trying to say is that I feel like AD almost kind of takes it away because we got a guy who, again, if I look at it, I don't even know if LeBron James, I guess you can say he's definitely the MVP of the Lakers because, he's the point forward. But again, he's not their leading scorer. He's not their leading steal. I couldn't believe when I saw, I figured blocks. I didn't even know it was in points. I had no clue that Anthony Davis led them in steals. And, of course, rebounds, I could see that, or maybe Dwight Howard when he was in there or whatever. But they have such a big, with Dwight Howard, with AD back there, with LeBron playing out front, they have so much size. And we look at this game so much different. Is that their one advantage that they have over other teams going into this?
Yeah, their size. And those two guys are dynamic players. I think what's happened to the Lakers, though, is their depth has gotten weaker when you consider the fact that they had a couple guys that
Bradley said, you had a few players sit out, bringing in different.
And I think that's gonna show itself tonight because the one thing that everybody believes in is the fact that the Clippers have so much depth, and so you might see that in real time tonight when those two teams play together. But certainly anytime, this is oversimplifying it, but it's just true. Anytime you got LeBron James, you got a chance.
That's true. That's true. Anytime you got LeBron, you definitely have a chance. That is true because we've said it for with it. But do you think there's any chance? Because a lot of people aren't. They talk about Giannis getting possibly the MVP, but I always hear it's going to be the Clippers or the Lakers that are going to win it all. I don't ever hear anybody say Milwaukee. Why is that?
Well, they kind of flamed out last year, and
they did.
I'm not sure people have taken their dominance during the regular season before it was suspended. I don't know if people took it all that seriously because you still have that East-West thing going.
Mm-hmm.
You got Toronto is the defending champ, but I mean they're nowhere near as good as they were with Kawhi Leonard. Philadelphia underachieved throughout the regular season. Even though that's my dark horse in this bubble, I think Philly may get that
really?
together.
I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of like that too with Simmons and Embiid, and Kawhi made a miracle shot. And then they went on to win the title. And right now, you also, I mentioned, we talk about Milwaukee. A lot of people don't realize this. Eric Bledsoe and I think it was Pat Connaughton. I'm not going to say I got to mention him because he's not going to be there. But Bledsoe, he's definitely not going to be back with the restart. Neither is Pat. These are kind of things like, people talk about Avery Bradley for the Lakers. I definitely think that Bledsoe is a better player, and the fact that he's not going to be out there, I think that kind of hurts them. And Milwaukee ranked 5th in efficiency and pace per play. I think the reason they, were so high in pace is the way Giannis gets up and down the court. But honestly, also when Drew Bledsoe has the ball, he's getting up. I mean, he's going 90 miles an hour one way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? I do think.
Eric Bledsoe.
I do think in the East it's probably a little bit more up for grabs than the West, and I tell you why. I don't think you want to talk about a team nobody's talking about. Is the Indiana Pacers.
Ooh.
This is like a grit and grind type of squad.
Yeah,
They're very well coached. They got Oladipo back. I think there's tons of opportunity for upsets on the East. But in the West, it's very clear. The Clippers
and Lakers.
The Clippers and Lakers. The Clippers are the most talented and deepest team, and the Lakers have LeBron James. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not buying into like a Denver or a Portland, or Utah. Utah is so dysfunctional right now. Mike Conley hasn't played. He hasn't played well at all for them. They're not getting their money's worth out of him. So,
Do you want to know something shocking? Did you know the Pelicans actually are favored over to Utah tonight? It opened up at -1. It's moved to -3. Like, people are not betting on the Jazz, yo. That's crazy to think about. I
heard you mention all the pressure on Zion Williamson, but the reality is the Pelicans have a very good team. They have an all-star. They got a nice mixture of veterans and young players. And what Zion has done is not only give him star power, but he's put him over the top with his talent. It's like making an in-season trade.
You're right. But can I ask you something? Since you're a beat writer and you can speak to this unequivocally, and I can maybe be wrong because again, the way that I see this is totally different than the way you do. You're a lot closer than I was. I just feel like maybe young people today are so much more mature. Like Zion feels like he's like, I'm just ready to ball. He leaves the bubble. He doesn't go make any mistakes. He takes all of his tests. He comes back. He's ready to play. He does his business. He had the whole situation at Duke. He did his business. Things have gone out around the media. I've never seen such a young kid so mature just handle himself. Again, look at how Ja Morant handles himself, and he's a young kid. Like, I look at all these young people around the league, and I'm always impressed because it's not even just that. It's just like my man Gabe Kuhn. Again, I'm always shocked that he's 25 years old, and I'm like, dang, you're so much mature than I was.
Well, you almost have to be in this day and age because of social media.
Oh, that's a good
point.
point.
I don't know if these younger guys are as disciplined as the guys I came along covering. But yeah,
that's a good point.
You want to talk about bubble? These kids have to live in a bubble. From the time that they're young teenagers all the way until they get to the league, because we live in a cancel culture. You do something stupid on Instagram or Twitter, and you're in Facebook, and you're in big time trouble. So I think they're insulated. I think they're more aware of why they have to be and how they should be. But as it goes back to basketball, I don't think young teams have a chance in this bubble. I think the more mature teams, the teams with the health and the depth, have the better shot. You want to talk about pressure. this is all brand new to Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson. And they're 20 years old, and they'll be counting on to keep the Grizzlies in that 8th seed.
Well, that's where I was going with it right now. I was going to say Tyus Jones being out. Portland doesn't look like they've had any injured players. You got Dame Time. You know what he's about. But if Ja Morant and Jonas and Clark and all these guys can come out and they can go out there and beat the Trailblazers tomorrow afternoon, how big would that be for this Grizzlies team?
Well, it's a must-win for the Grizzlies because you got to put as much distance between yourself and those three teams behind you that are only 3.5 back. And again, these are going to be playoff intense games that Dame has been in, that the Spurs have been in, and you go on and on and on, and it goes back to depth too. You talked about Tyus Jones going out. Well, he was their best backup point guard.
Yeah.
Now they got to experiment who is a lot better off the ball, not as good creating offense for the team. Justice Winslow, they were counting on having him, and he went out really quick. So there's going to be a lot of pressure on Ja and Jaren to be really good every night. And I don't think it was – I know they played well in that third scrimmage, but I don't think it was a coincidence that the two guys that came out ready from the jump was Valanciunas and Kyle Anderson.
Yeah. I was going to say Kyle Anderson had one heck of a game. I think he was trying to make a statement. But, JV was doing his thing. Trey J, I expect him. He's got to be big tomorrow night. But, a lot of people forget. I think it's Hassan Whiteside's over down there in Portland. He ain't no joke. And, again, Dame Time, he might probably be the best rapper in the NBA because he's one of my favorite. But, dude, for real, he's the most underrated, I think, guard in the NBA, period. Like, we talk about so many other guards. Mm-hmm. Like, Dame Time is as good as anybody, realistically.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because now you're talking about who's going to take over in the fourth quarter of games. And I know Ja has shown that he's capable, but nobody's done it. Yeah. Nobody's done it like Dame. And so that's where that playoff intensity comes into play. So the Grizzlies play very well together, but when you get to the fourth quarter, it is more hero ball. And who's going to be the hero for this squad? There's going to be a lot of pressure on those young kids.
Man, you ain't going to lie. And right now, I don't know if you know this, I got to say goodbye because I got to pay some bills. But right now, Portland -2. Money line is actually Grizzlies plus 115. You got to lay 35 just to win the game if you want to take Portland. So Grizzlies are the dog in the first game. I love Grizzlies coming out with a little chip on the shoulder and being a dog because I think Ja can do it. But Damian does scare me in the fourth. Now, Ron Tillery, man, go have a blessed day, my friend.
I will, man. I will, and I appreciate you having me on.
Man, I appreciate you. Talk to you next Thursday, my friend. That's my good buddy, Ron Tillery. We're going to wrap. We're going to talk every single Thursday during the NBA playoffs, but I will tell you one thing. You got to do me a favor, not touch that dial. We'll be back in 2 shakes. Memphis Farmers. Don't ever forget Chad Gatlin on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 96.1 FM, or 87.7 FM.
I want to invite you to come by the Spirit Shop. You know, that little log cabin on Poplar? Your liquor and wine oasis. The Spirit Shop has been providing sports fans their beverage needs since way back in 1969. So come in now and get ready for the big game. Whether your favorite team wins or loses, the Spirit Shop will help you celebrate or ease that pain away. The Spirit Shop is open every day, and they're located perfectly at 4848 Poplar. That's the corner of Poplar and St. Nick.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Lemon Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC-accredited facility, and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Lemon Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselemonbrace.com.
Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
All 75 months at 3.14 APR. G4, LHF 07822, Outlander LUO 28772, Eclipse LZO 16320. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 59875 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Drive your ambition with a new ride from Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $149 a month with 41 MPG highway, or buy for $12,435. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is ready for any adventure at $229 a month, or buy for $18,533. And cross over to summer in a 2020 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, only $19,147 or $239 per month. And better yet, they're all backed by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Mirage G4, $149 a month. Outlander Sport, $229 a month. And Eclipse Cross, $239 a month. Feel safe and confident while shopping at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
Kick it over here.
This hour is brought to you by MemphisFarmers.com. Insurance coverage backed by a local agent and a brand trusted nationwide. We are farmers. MemphisFarmers.com.
Happy Friday's Eve on Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your good friend Johnny Radio. You know I'm always with my very good friend Gabe Kuhn. Follow us at Johnny_Radio. Follow him at G_KUHN. That's Kuhn. And then what's his number? Come on, people out there. Gabe. Kuhn71, baby. Come
there
on.
you go. Nice
Come
job.
on.
Nice
now.
job.
No, I know it.
I was almost going to test people on the text line, see if
Dude,
people really
actually,
knew.
They should know, by the way, your number, Dadgum. It's very simple, man. Come on, man. Number 71. You remember him? But anyway, he played only one person played more games than you, period.
Well, two people now. Two people.
Two now?
Yeah.
Who else passed you?
Dustin got
passed
me.
you?
Dustin and Drew Kaiser got me.
I'm sorry.
Two of the guys
That you were with.
I had under my wing,
Yes,
man, when
when
they got there.
That is such a trip. That is such a trip. And by the way, Dustin's up in New England. Speaking in New England, we'll talk a little bit about this whole BS tanking thing during Hardwood because it's coming up next. Isaac Simpson's going to drop in. But we got two things to announce. I'm not at the golf course, and it's very depressing, to be honest with you. But damn, if you're a golfer, doesn't it feel good today? You're in Memphis, Tennessee, and it does not make you just sweat the minute you walk outside. I'm actually in jeans today because I didn't have any clean shorts. I was so lucky. So lucky.
It's kind of depressing not to be out there, man.
It is depressing.
I enjoy it. It's always a really good occasion here in the city.
It's one of my favorite things every year.
It does suck not being out there, but we do have a leaderboard now.
Which
it has started.
Announce it. It sucks because I've been waiting for somebody else to pass
Your
it.
your good buddy Bryson DeChambeau sits atop at 4 under. Sung Kang, Ches Reavie, Ricky Fowler, Brooks Koepka all tied at second at 3 under, and then Mackenzie Hughes, Phil Mickelson, Bubba Watson, Jordan Spieth at 6th, 2 under.
Come on,
Phil actually playing pretty well here in Memphis so far.
Dude, he's always pretty good out here. He likes it out here for some reason. Spieth's not bad right now. I mean, there's a lot of big time names up there at the top, but I'm just praying that anybody comes up and makes sure. If Bryson DeChambeau wins the Memphis tournament, I'm going to cry. You know that, right? Straight up cry. But I'm also going to cry because I have great news to announce because I'm very dead-gum happy to announce that I'm going to miss my good friend CJ because I love him more than anything in this world. But I am extremely excited to announce that there's going to be a little bit of Peter and Anthony Sane starting on Monday morning. That's right, Anthony Sane. You know him at Sane Asylum. Grizzlies beat writer for Sports Illustrated forever and ever. He's been on the show many a time. I think I was probably one of the first people to bring him on air, and now he's going to start mornings with Peter. That's this Monday. But don't forget, you still got my good friend Drew Barrett and, of course, Gabe Kuhn, who are going to rock through tomorrow. And then Monday, we're going to hand this thing over to Pete and Sane. Did you see that tweet?
I did. That was pretty good.
I liked that. That was pretty good. He's very good. His Twitter game is very strong. Now, Mondays are going to be strong, but the next segment is Hardwood, my favorite segment of the day. But I want to remind you one simple thing. We all want to do what? Make sure life is going pretty well. If life has slapped you upside the head, or you're moving up one in the world and you want a new house, but for some reason you can't move it, just call 901 406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. You call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. A bing, a bang, a boom. I literally sold your house, guaranteed to close in not long at all, like under a week, 5 days. 5 days, you're going to have your money. If they call the bank and says, I'm sorry, but you haven't paid your mortgage in the last couple months. If you don't pay everything this month, we are going to foreclose on you. Do not let them foreclose on you and lose everything. 901-406-1101. Any house, any area, as is, from South Wind to South Memphis to North Memphis to North Mississippi and everything in between. Call him, my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. He helped me. I know for a fact he can help you. Bryson DeChambeau. Oh, my goodness. Brooks Koepka. He's now tied him up. He's 4 under. Come on, Brooks. Where's that meltdown for Bryson? We got golf going out. Man, I can't believe we have golf going on here in Memphis right now. The World Golf Championship FedEx St. Jude Invitational is going on now. Hardwood is coming up next. Don't touch that dial.
Save now on your 2021 swimming pool at Family Leisure. Buy now at 2020 pricing and save your spot for the first installation of 2021. Patio furniture 20 to 30% off. Play gyms in stock. Beat the heat with an indoor game table or slate pool table. Pool toys and floats up to 30% off. Family Leisure, Witt Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Where family and fun come together.
Do you know you might be overpaying for your Medicare supplement plan? Do you get lost in an alphabet maze of plans like A, B, C, D, and G, F? Would you like help getting out of the maze and finding the very best plan for you? We are experienced Medigap agents at Health IQ, and we are on a mission to give people like you fair and square Medigap rates. Health IQ is the only insurance agency that rewards seniors proactively working on their health, like eating right and exercising. You don't have to be an athlete to save money. We reward healthy lifestyles of all kinds. Do you take your vitamins and supplements? Do you stay active and in the know about things that impact your health? If so, you could save money with Health IQ. Let us help you take care of your Medicare supplement needs. To see if you qualify for exclusive savings on Medicare supplement insurance, go to healthiq.com/Medigap. To start saving, go to healthiq.com/Medigap. That's HEALTHIQ.com/MEDIGAP.
Health IQ is an agency offering plans from different insurance carriers. No government or Medicare affiliation. Coverage and special rates not available in all counties or cases.
Hi, I'm Greg Gaston for Window Genie. Window Genie is a trusted name in window cleaning, but they do so much more. They can take care of your home or business. They clean interior and exterior windows with a streak-free guarantee. They clean gutters, do pressure washing and house washing. They can also clean and seal concrete, brick, and natural stone. Locally owned and operated, insured and bonded. Get your free estimate today and ask for the Sports 56 discount. Call 901-424-4100 and leave the dirty work to Window Genie.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM.
Love it. I'm in such a good mood on this Friday's Eve. Even though if you're watching us live on Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Instagram, you can see that Sports 56 Happy Hour. We look great in our Family Leisure studio, except for my eye looks like you dotted me, bro. It kind of does. It looks really bad. It hurts. I've never had a sty before.
Oh, the styes are the worst. Isn't there like there's a home remedy? I think you put hot water.
Tea bags on. That sounds.
I think you're supposed to get a rag and put hot water on it.
My girlfriend's been putting hot tea bags on my eye at home, and I'm being dead serious.
How old are we, man?
Yeah,
why do I chuckle when you say that? But anyway,
because it is
funny.
funny.
Either way, I'm pretty sure
Especially
rag.
when I say it.
A rag with hot water. And you just hold it on there for a while.
Just hold it on there for a while.
Hey, it's 67129. Give us your home remedies for a sty.
Yeah, because
we need to know this.
Some sty eye is
his,
what it's called.
His eye is
and it's
definitely
this
swole
goo,
up.
And you can't put it on during the show because it would literally, like, my eye would be like closed shut because you can't open it, and it doesn't really make me feel any better. I ain't gonna lie to you. So I think they just got my money.
How annoying is it though? That's the most annoying.
It's not
pain.
like getting hit in the junk or breaking a knee. Because, like, it's not like that kind of pain. It's that kind of pain, and it's not like a migraine type of pain where you need to take, like, a microdot of mushrooms to get rid of your, headache. It's kind of like that pain that just, it doesn't hurt to where you can't, like, go through your day, but it doesn't stop hurting it's been 24 hours where it's just annoyed me so bad that the minute I'm off the radio, I do what? I close my eye. At home, I watch TV with one eye. I read articles with one eye. It's weird. I hate sty eye. But you know what I don't hate? I don't hate the fact that we have the WGC World Golf Baby Championship right out here at FedEx St. Jude Invitational. And guess what? Bryson DeChambeau has now been tied by Brooks Koepka. They're both 4 under. You got a bunch of dudes. Ricky Fowler's at 3 under. You got Phil Mickelson at 2 under. Bubba's at 2 under. Jordan Spieth's at 2 under. It looks like a great tournament going on out there. I can't believe we're not out there. I also can't believe that I'm going to miss being out there out at Southwind, and then I'm going to miss being at one of my favorite spots, which is East End Bar and Grill, and hanging out with a bunch of really good friends over there because we did that every year too. That's going to be sad. But anyway, we got golf going on. We got basketball tonight. We have Grizzlies tomorrow. Baseball is hanging on. Freddie Freeman looked like he was back. Nick Markakis is coming back. Baseball feels like they're trying, like with Nick Markakis coming back, baseball feels like they're trying to get back, yo. But are you going to be scared if Rob Manfred doesn't man up and make a very important, I think, decision? The fact that they're not playing is good, but I just feel like they have got to figure out this schedule. They've got to get things straightened out because you got people who, like, right now, if you're the Phillies, the Yankees, the Orioles, think about the teams that are just hanging in the wind.
Did you see the report about them actually mulling over some 7-inning doubleheaders to try to get through some of these games as quick as possible?
Whoa. Say that again?
7-inning doubleheaders. They're thinking about it. They obviously not completely all in on it, but to get these games in, they're going to have to do something.
I'm going to say something. You know what? Right now, this is a different world. 7-inning doubleheaders, if because of what's happened with COVID to get to it, you know what? Right now, I'll take it. But you know one thing I'm so sick of? This pitcher rule with them having to throw to 3 batters, because when guys come in there and can't throw a damn strike, and you got to watch him walk bases loaded or just give up hit after hit after hit, and the coach is pulling his hair out on the side, or he's already bald usually.
Did you get a look at the Astros-Dodgers last night?
Of course.
So 13 innings, man.
13,
That's impressive.
That was hey.
That was good. That was their bullpens. Their bullpens were pitching really well, man.
Both teams actually played really well, to be honest with you. Both teams.
I don't know. I mean, again, and the reason I say that is because you have a guy starting on second base in each of these extra innings, and they ended up getting to 13 of them.
That's what I was going to say. This is what's supposed to stop it. Like, it's not supposed to go that deep. So you're exactly right. But I will say, weren't you happy with the result?
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit more of a fan of the guy on second base in extra innings than a lot of people.
I love the guy on second base.
I don't think it's bad. I mean, do I think they need to keep it going on into the future? I mean, I'm not against it. I don't think they necessarily need to, but at the same time, it is fun. Like
it is. I'm sorry, for me, it's
and then
fun.
People try to talk about an advantage. No, I mean, both teams get the same advantage, so neither team has an advantage.
Now, one thing, speaking of an advantage, and I meant to say this, but we're about to get into my favorite part, and I'm going to give you a bet that happens today. And it has to do with a guy who's pitching in Yu Darvish, who couldn't even get it out, basically, when he pitched first. Plays for the Cubs. Cubs lost 12-7 last night. Sonny Gray got the win, but my goodness, there was a lot of runs scored in Cincinnati. That's a little bitty bandbox ballpark. A lot of runs scored last night in a few games, man. Braves 7, Rays 4. You had the Tigers. Jonathan Scope hit another one. You had Jacoby Jones hit a solo home run in the 7th. But they were, 5-4. The Red Sox 6-5 over the Mets. So interesting baseball. Yankees spanked them Orioles 9-3.
Hey, real quick, read that text for yourself. You got some advice.
Oh, I got some advice. So I have a sty and it hurts very bad. And Miss Davis is Tina. Thank you, Tina. See, I told you I had women that listen to my show. Love all my ladies out there. Put a warm, moist cloth on your eye for 5 to 10 minutes, 3 to 6 times a day. Heat often brings a sty to a point where it drains on its own. Yeah, because it looks like you punched me in my right. Like it literally does. My left eye looks like you punched me during the break or something.
You were talking too much, man. I couldn't hold back.
But I will say, you know what time it is? It is time for us to go to the favorite place in the world. Don't forget, Isaac Simpson is going to join us. And guess what else we're about to do? We're going to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Now, I want to mention, we got the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational going on. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on there. Wolo and Stats will do the same thing on Sports Time at Sports 56. But I did have a very nice announcement, man. In Hardwood, I mentioned in the last segment, Anthony Sane will start on Mondays with Peter. So we'll have Pete and Sane, and it will be a lot of fun. I think y'all should make sure you check it out. Now, speaking of fun, tomorrow the Grizzlies. They're +2 against the Portland Trailblazers. Did you see the amount of money right now? If you looked, it's almost 85% of the money is on Portland so far. Now, this looks like the line has only moved, a point basically. It almost looks like they want you to bet Portland. I know Dame Time. We talked with Ron Tillery earlier, the Grizz historian, about this team. I know they aren't going to have Tyus Jones. I don't know what it is. I know they didn't play great in the first 2, basically, I don't know what you call those things, scrimmages. But the third one, they looked a lot better. And I'm just telling you, I feel like they're going to come out for some reason. Like, I think TJ's going to have them fired up. I think Ja's a different type of man. I think JV's going to do his thing, and Trey J's finally becoming that guy that we hoped he could be. I'm going with the Grizzlies. What do you think?
I think the Grizzlies can win the game. I think it's really close. I would honestly, to be completely real with you, I think both teams, it should be pretty even. It should be an even game. Like, I don't know why the Trailblazers are favored, especially when you get to a neutral site. I don't know if the Trailblazers are that fantastic. I know they got a little more healthy, but I don't know. I think this Grizzlies team can definitely win that game. And they need to win these first couple games against the Pelicans and the Trailblazers, because when you look at the grand scheme of things, the teams they're playing at the back half of this 8-game schedule are very, very tough.
Now, I think the bullpen of the Reds has been an absolute joke. If you want to make a laugh, we can make some laughs. We talked about how I need to put a warm compress, but lately Honey's just been teabagging my eye at night. But speaking of somebody who's not been doing very good on getting on base and scoring a lot of runs and crossing and getting on that base and everything, that's been the Cincinnati Reds, yo. Batting only .221, but guess what? Those bats woke up. They dropped the Cubs 12-7 last night. Yu Darvish is on the mound today. So I mentioned a little bit about the Grizzlies bet, but I'm going to tell you there's one baseball bet that I like today. And I'm sorry. I think you, who's getting paid like a madman, you're so bad it's not even funny. 0-1, 6.7 ERA, 1.5 whip, 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 Ks, no runs, no homers. He's going to give up some bombs in that small park tonight. Luis Castillo, baby. What's up, man? He's a beautiful pitcher. I love Gray, but I love Castillo as well. He's got a 1.50 ERA with a 1.17 whip. Ow! 6 innings, 6 hits, 11 strikeouts, 1 walk. My man, I'm telling you, with Joey Votto, he's right now hitting already .304. He hit a couple bombs. You have Nick Castellanos is over there. You've got a bunch of dudes out there who I think are ready. And I like Rizzo. I like, Schwarber. I like all the players that play for the Cubs. But I don't like Yu Darvish. Can we be real about that? Yu Darvish is like ridiculous in how much money he's getting paid.
And by the way, have you seen his new little hairstyle he's got going? He's trying to flow. He's trying to get the flow going.
All right, look, dude.
It's a little wider than it is long, though.
He used to be Japanese Elvis. So
yeah,
he kind of like, I can understand him growing in the flow. Kind of want to be like, thank you very much, thank you. But however you do that in Japan. But Nelson Cruz, time doesn't seem to catch up with this dude. Do you know he has 11 RBIs, by the way, and he's 40 years old. He has 3 home runs, tied for the league in the league. What's up with Nelson Cruz coming out of the gate looking like this? Did you think a 40-year-old right now would be leading the league in RBIs and home runs?
He's been the man, though.
God, dog, he's been the man.
He's always been able to swing the bat.
He sure as hell can.
Nelson Cruz is not a guy I would doubt.
Minnesota grabbed and they got him for practically nothing. So congratulations. He's batting .381. He has 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, first in RBIs, first in home runs, tied for 18th in average. And guess what? His on-base percentage is top 25 in all of baseball. His OPS, not his on-base percentage, his OPS. That is, and by the way, his OPS is 1.361. Now, that's like, Babe Ruth-esque. I know it's early in the year, but with this Minnesota Twins team doing what they're doing, do people need to wake up and start paying attention to a 4-1 Twins team who look like they're baller shot callers not playing no games?
You shouldn't be sleeping on the Twins after last year. Why would you be sleeping on the Twins?
I wouldn't. And I think they got better. And I think the only game so far they've lost was the one with Jose, their best pitcher. I think he'll get going, and they're going to be okay. So watch out, people. They ain't playing no games. Now, are you ready to get some funny Hardenwood-esque stories?
Of course I am.
Now, do you have anything? Because I know that you've been very funny lately. Before I go into my...
Well, I have a feeling you have this, but Michael Porter Jr.?
Oh, yes, we talked actually about this, so you know that.
Like, what's going on here? Like, a Snapchat conspiracy theorist. This is what he had to say on Snapchat. Personally, I think the coronavirus is being used for a bigger agenda. It's being used for population control in just terms of being able to control the masses of people. I mean, the virus, the whole world is being controlled. And then when they asked his coach, Michael Malone, he referenced free speech and freedom of thought. Like, okay, yeah, free speech is something, but, like, if you say something stupid, people can respond to you and think you're a, a-hole.
Yes.
It's very simple. Like,
no, I'm with you on that one. I honestly, I don't understand the conspiracy. Listen. I'm not saying that there, some conspiracies may be true out there or whatever, but we landed on the moon, yo. I don't think the coronavirus is for population control, because if that is, they're not doing very good.
It seems like there's a lot of people.
Again, the
uptick.
Let's bankrupt the world.
We talked about this, right?
Control. It kills it like less than a 1% rate or something. That's real good.
Didn't we talk about how the uptick, there's a ridiculous uptick in conspiracy theorists? It has been like
the Earth is flat for some lunatics.
My
You know that guy?
gosh.
You know, the Flat Earth Mike died. Did you hear about that?
No way.
He
Who?
died in his rocket. He was trying to shoot he made his own rockets, and he wanted to shoot up to the distance to where they say you could see the curvature of the Earth. But he wanted to prove that. He says that the Earth is surrounded.
There
by
is no
ice
curvature.
caps.
It's all flat.
Yeah, it's all flat, and like in his idea, like something about there's just nothing but ice that's holding the Earth together around the sun. Dude, it's Mike, okay? But unfortunately, rest in peace.
Seems like it would be
Can I just
really
tell you
easy if your Earth was flat. It would be really easy to just walk off the face of the Earth, right?
It's a good point too. But why
We can take a plane and just leave Earth.
Wait, listen, I know you say you won't jump out of an airplane with me, and I can pack.
I just don't want you to be my spotter. I'll jump out of the airplane with you at the same time, but I need a different spotter. I can't have you spot me.
Dude, I'll just bring up a bottle of Crown Royal. I'll get you ripe as rain, brother, before we jump. You know, like you'll be feeling good as gold. I promise. Once I open up that door, oh, you'll love it. But can I just say this? When you shoot yourself up in the Earth and you have probably like a high school education in science, do you think he was gonna like make it up to space and then land and be okay? Like that's what was also sad. And they videotaped this thing. You haven't seen it. It's so sad.
Like his loved ones didn't stop him. Like, oh no, he is gonna prove that.
Never mind.
He's got a theory. He's gonna prove it.
He was gonna prove it, but
I mean, it's very sad. It really is very
very sad.
It just seems like it could have been avoided, right?
Well, there's a lot of other things out there that's called like math and science, and I don't know about you. Who was it? I know Newton, Galileo. Like long time ago.
He said there's these things out there called math and science.
You know, they figured out that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe, and that we rotated around the sun, and that we're actually circular way before we could do a lot of things, like even shoot rockets up in the air, Mike. But you didn't pick up a book, my man, and you're not around anymore. Now, Philadelphia Phillies, they have shut down workouts for coaches, staff. Yes, because there's more positive tests. We mentioned that. Miami announces a series. They have now 19 reported cases as of this morning. 2 more members of the Phillies have tested positive.
Staff member. I do want to point out staff members as far as the Phillies, not players.
But the one thing about this is where Rob Manfred needs to wake up and say, yo, this isn't going the direction that I need. I need these teams like that park. Those 2 teams right now. As much as for the Miami, I kind of make a joke. For Philadelphia, I know this would hurt, but they have got to, don't you think, quarantine for at least 10 days and everybody get tested?
10 days is quite a while when you're talking about the grand scheme of this season.
Hey, man,
10 days.
You're going to have to go 7-inning doubleheaders all the way if they even try.
Seriously.
But they can't go out there and infect other teams because the way these teams travel, it could spread.
The more
like
I think about it,
wildfire.
John, I really think that what you're saying about the Marlins, like that might end up being the option they have to take. Like they might have to get rid of them. And I'm not saying the Phillies, it would be very unfair because they weren't the culprits, but I mean, missing all these games is going to be very, very, it's going to be a big problem. It's going to be a big problem here in about a week, getting all those games that they missed fit back in.
It's going to be a big, big problem. Now, another big problem. By any chance, did you watch the San Francisco Giants supposedly party at home plate at all? I know it was very late and you have to get up very early, so I
did not actually. I didn't. That was the late game.
Like, everybody's wanting to celebrate, so it's like watching a bunch of adults just jumping up and down 6 feet apart from each other and like air high-fiving and be like, you the man, you the man, you the man. And it was like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just weird. Like,
they didn't
they didn't touch each other. They did a bunch of fake high fives. Like they ran like 6 feet from each other. Like, dude, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm actually gonna tweet it out now. You got to watch it. It is hilarious because, look, I don't like the dog pile because I always feel like when you're on the bottom of that stuff, oh, that hurts. And like baseball's a marathon. Every little bump, and bruise, it carries on. You don't need to hurt somebody.
So we've been like sort of entrenched in the NFL opt-outs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been paying attention to those. I didn't even think about the college football opt-outs. We're about to see a bunch of them.
Oh, I got some weird ones that I'm about to mention.
We're about to see a bunch of them. Did you see the guy from Virginia Tech? He was the first one.
Oh, no, I did not see
Guy
the
from
college.
Virginia
I was
Tech.
talking about the NFL
Cornerback
opt-out.
Caleb Farley, who is like basically known around the NFL and scouting circles as a first-round pick. He's a corner, big, tall, 6'2" corner. So he is opted out of the season already.
Well, see, I thought the biggest news of the day was Damian Williams, and that's where I was about to go. Damian Williams for the Chiefs opting out. If you're a fantasy football player, Clyde Edwards-Helaire just moved into the second round.
I figured
brother.
he would be high anyway,
Dude,
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
He would be high, but with Damian
They got
Williams,
him in the first round for a reason.
I don't care. Damian Williams was going to get touches. He was still going to like get into his, get in. Like it made Clyde Edwards-Helaire like a 5th round pick, not a 2nd round pick. Now you're the number 1 dude in Kansas City's backfield. Bro, I'm selling you. Right now, Damian Williams, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, Damian Williams informed the team officially that he is sitting out the 2020 season, making Clyde Edwards-Helaire of LSU. That's right, their first-round pick this year. Dude can run it. Dude can catch it. He can do everything. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be the baller shot caller, and he just won the Rookie of the Year with this announcement.
Yeah, I honestly, John, I really think he was going to have a good season regardless.
I do too.
He just
I do
fits
too.
so well with
He
that
does fit
with
well.
that offense. But they have till August 4th to opt out. But the thing is, like, do you think they're really going to hold them to that date? Like, if you want to opt out halfway through camp because new facts
Ooh, I think
arose,
they're gonna,
somebody
I don't know, man.
else
That's a good
in your
question.
family.
Well, the way they have the money set up and structured, that's a very interesting point. It seems like if you want that $150,000 to $350,000, depending on if you have health issues,
You gotta opt out before
you better
August
do it
4th.
before that. Yeah. Now, if you just want to just say, hey, and plus you'll get maybe a game check or practice check, so you'll probably get some of that type of money. But anyway, I think that's a very interesting point. And you know what, Gabe? I don't know.
It's just hard for me to believe them being able to hold them to that. And honestly, I think if you're opted out right now, is the NFL going to stop you from opting back in if you decide that you want to play later? I think these opt-out dates are kind of stupid. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't think they make much sense, but you do have to have it for monetary reasons. I
And
understand.
also trying to fill out a roster. Like, you got to have something. These coaches got to have something.
Some
to go
idea
on.
of what's
Yeah.
going to happen with your players. I get
it's
it,
just- yeah.
but it just seems like players could opt out after if they so choose to. I
know
don't
what you
think
mean.
they're going to stop them from doing that.
Now, I have to also bring up this. One other thing. Somebody mentioned something. Hey, do you know who hit the home run last night? Yeah, it was Carl Yastrzemski's grandson. Did you know that? Mike. And I think that's his 3rd home run of the year, and that was a game-winning home run. So, yes, for the San Francisco Giants, it was the Yaz's grandson. But can I just tell you something? The story wasn't about the Yaz's grandson or Mike, okay? It's not about Carl either. It's about watching a walk-off home run and a bunch of dudes celebrating, jumping up and down, but like they want to touch each other and they're like fake high-fiving, and it just looks so damn weird. Like,
So you're saying they were limiting the gathering at home plate?
they were so excited. Like, the whole team's excited, but everybody is now out on the field, and he jumps on home plate, and then they're like jumping up and down, like fake high-fiving, and it's like, you the man, you know what I mean? It's like, it just was weird.
So they're limiting gathering. Have you been to any good parties lately?
No, haven't been to any
Because it
parties,
would make sense to go to a party, right?
I wouldn't go to a party.
So did you hear about the Rutgers football team?
No.
Yep. 15
No.
players were positive, and they had to quarantine for 2 weeks. And it looks like the New Jersey State Health Commissioner, I'm going to try here, Judith Parashelli, actually has said that Rutgers, that outbreak came from a party on Rutgers campus.
Wow. That's not good. And again,
But again,
what do we
it
talk
proves
about?
what we
Young
talk
people.
about 18 to
Again, that's what we said.
22-year-olds.
They feel invincible. They want to hang out. Women look good. Beer looks delicious. I want to party. I can't sit in my room. And what do y'all do now? Play games? Even with the headset on and a gaming system, that can only go so far. Like, if basically Tina walks by and she's a 10, you're like, hey, what's up, Tina? And you're taking your headgear off. You know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to look like a nerd. So that's just the way football players are. That's the way college guys are. And let's just be realistic about this. Putting a bunch of young kids on a campus is just waiting for a party to happen. And it can't. It does make so much sense. It's Rutgers too, by the way, doesn't it? Like, doesn't that feel like such a Rutgers story?
Very Rutgers story. Very Big Ten.
Very Big Ten. Now, last but not least, because I got my good friend Isaac Simpson coming on. I got to say, did you see DK Metcalf, what he did?
What did DK do?
DK flew in a tattoo artist, and he put inks of some of his favorite black heroes on his body. And, dude, he's got their whole face and their whole body. But you got to realize, DK's a big man.
I'm aware.
He's got a lot of body to ink. And he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Michael Jordan, Jackie Robinson, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, and, dude, I can't tell who this person is. Man, there's somebody else that I'm going to have to look up because I honestly don't know who that. I can tell who the other people are. Who is this? Do you know? Oh, we're going to have to look up who that person is. Like, I knew everybody just by looking at him. Like, I knew, hey, that's Muhammad Ali. That's Michael Jordan. That's Martin Luther King. That's, you know what I mean? That's Jackie Robinson. And then there's a fifth. But he has 5 tattoos of people's faces. And DK is such a big dude. And, yes, he's the wide receiver for the Seahawks. Russell Wilson. I wanted to ask you this question because I got to go to Isaac Simpson, but I'll leave it to 67129. Patrick Mahomes is the best. Aaron Rodgers is right behind him. Lamar Jackson is probably the greatest athlete that plays in the NFL, the position. But is Russell Wilson the greatest if you add everything from leadership to just being a good dude to the playmaking abilities on the field? Even though he's smaller, what he does he bring as much as those other guys? 67129. We'll be right back with a little Isaac Simpson, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Frontier Western Store is open and ready to serve you for all your needs in boots, apparel, pet food, and more. Frontier is proud to be a local leader here in the Mid-South when it comes to boots. Stop by the store today for an incredible selection of name brand work and dress boots. Come browse aisles and aisles of top quality boots at everyday low prices in our world famous boot showroom. Dan Post, Rocky, Durango, Twisted X, Georgia, Ariat, and many more. There are so many styles, colors, and fits available, you might need a hand picking out your favorites. Luckily, Frontier's knowledgeable sales staff will cheerfully assist you with any questions you have and ensure the proper fit of your new boots. Frontier also has an amazing selection of jeans and shirts by Wrangler, Ariat, and Carhartt, as well as a fully stocked women's boutique department with thousands of tops and dresses at unbelievable prices. New arrivals often. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Gilman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Farmers Insurance knows that there's a not-so-subtle difference between the sound of a car hitting your rear bumper and the sound of a clown car hitting your rear bumper.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Sorry about that.
We call that a 3-ring fender bender, and we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent.
They know a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
This is the sound of a blizzard treat at DQ. But it also sounds like a weekend bike ride, a post-game celebration, and a sunset on the dock. Wow! Doesn't a blizzard treat sound good? Stop by DQ and grab one today, like new Oreo fudge brownie. Thanks for being the sweetest fans in the world. DQ, happy tastes good.
Central Barbecue is committed to the health and safety of this community, who has supported Central for almost 20 years. Central Barbecue is still open for business with to-go and delivery options to serve the greater Memphis area with the same great barbecue you have come to know and love. With 4 locations to serve you, from downtown, midtown, and East Memphis, you can order your favorite barbecue and enjoy everything on the menu in the comfort of your own home. Call your nearest Central Barbecue location for more information on delivery and to-go options today.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Chris Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour.
Let's go!
On Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
What is up? Welcome back into Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your very good buddy, Johnny Radio. I love this. Kurt Cobain coming back with a little Nirvana. But I got to tell you something. There's so much going on that I just don't have time to wait. And I got Isaac Simpson who's about to join me. And today's a big day because we're waiting on the SEC. As the ACC is coming out, Notre Dame is going to be playing with them. They're doing the 10+1. Now they're waiting for the SEC to decide because if the the Southeastern Conference decides that they're going to do just a conference schedule, the 10+1 doesn't even matter. Now, if SEC goes 10+1, guess what? Game on, baby. You know how this thing is going to go. Football sounds like it's on its way back. Now, I also wanted to say that Joe Kelly, who got, banned for 8 games, I don't like it as much because the umpires feel pretty good. I feel like the Astros have gotten off not having to deal with fans this year. It's going to be a shortened year. And again, Joe Kelly didn't play for the Dodgers. No, in 2017, he didn't make it to the World Series because he played with the deadgum Boston Red Sox who the Astros beat. So, yes, Joe Kelly has an opportunity to be angry. Now, speaking of things about be angry, you shouldn't be all that angry unless you're just a big World Golf Championship fan and you're just not out there and you're kind of sad. But don't worry. The WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational is going on. It's going strong. We got Bryson DeChambeau at 4 under, and now we have a bunch of them. We have Brendan Todd, Brooks Koepka, Ches Reavie. We have Sung Kang. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys at 4 under. Man, that's unbelievable. And speaking of people that are unbelievable, the reason I couldn't figure out that picture on DK Metcalf's leg, he after having 4.5 people putting on his body, he was just done, so he's going to fly the person out next week to finish, and it's going to be Maya Angelou. So he's going to have from MJ to Maya Angelou, but he got, Muhammad Ali. He got all these people done and put on and finished, and I could tell right off the bat. But yeah, unfinished Maya Angelou, I was lost for a minute there, and so was Gabe, but I looked it up to make sure. Now, I'm fired up about everything, and I am so excited to talk with my very good friend Isaac Simpson on this Friday's Eve. Isaac, how's my good buddy doing?
Man, I'm good, man, on this Friday's Eve, man. Ready to talk, man. Let's go.
Dude, are you fired up about some basketball?
Man, I am fired up, man. You got the big doubleheader tonight, and then, man, tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
Grizzlies. Right
Back
when my
action,
game's
man.
over. Like, dude, once the show ends tomorrow for me, like, if anybody doesn't know what I'm going to be doing, like, they obviously don't know me very well because it's going to be watching Grizzlies basketball and just going, like, throwing down. I think they're going to drop the Trailblazers. The Trailblazers -2. Do you think this just has to do with the perception of, the Grizzlies versus the rest of the nation? And I want to tag team this is how is it that we put more pressure on Zion Williamson, like a rookie, a kid, than we do on Anthony Davis, a top 5 player who plays on the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah, man. On the first part, I've been looking at that line, Blazers -2 for about a month now. It's perplexed me. And it's definitely about the perception of, for some reason, and especially, I mean, I know people talk about the Pelicans, but nationally, people put the Blazers in front of the Grizzlies as well. I just don't understand that. I mean, the one game that they played, the Grizzlies handled them in one of probably the best games of the season. Both well-played games, complete games here at FedEx Forum, not too long before the season ended. So I don't understand this thought of the Blazers being better than the Grizzlies. I mean, it's all about the star power. I mean, you got Damian Lillard on that team, C.J. McCollum. So nationally, they just get more publicity, and people root for that. Also got Carmelo Anthony on that team now. So it's a better story for the national media to have Damian Lillard in the playoffs against the Lakers and blah, 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 man. But it's just clear hate for the Grizzlies and disrespect and for what they've done this year. I think the Grizzlies should be the story of the NBA team that came in.
Thank
was only
you.
supposed to win about 25 games in a year. I mean,
a new coach in Taylor Jenkins. You got Ja Morant, who's going to be the Rookie of the Year. Trey J's doing this. JV's doing that. Brandon Clark's coming out of nowhere. Dylan Brooks is looking good. Like, there are so many good stories about the Grizzlies, but it's amazing. They just don't want to talk about them, and I don't get it.
I mean, it's always been that way. Even during the grit and grind era, I mean, you had the Grizzlies in the Western Conference Finals, and they still, when you look back,
I thought that was
don't
more about the style of play, but now I realize it's more about, unfortunately, our city.
Yeah, it's just about the small market of it all, but in Portland is a small market. But I think it's just about, and you can't even say star power anymore. We used to say that, but now you got a budding superstar in Ja Morant, and Ja Morant does get probably more pub than anybody that's ever been a member of the Grizzlies since they've been in Memphis, but it's still not where it should be, especially, again, for the story from a team that we were talking about possibly getting the number 1 pick again, and here we are trying to hold on to the 8th spot. So I think it's fantastic. I know they talk about Taylor Jenkins being in the running for Coach of the Year. I think he should be Coach of the Year for what this team has accomplished this year. But you talk about Zion and Anthony Davis.
That's the one honestly, that's the most, for me, perplexing thing that I've noticed this season. I've never seen, by the way, Zion, he handles himself very well. I still personally think in 10 years, his career is going to have a better arc than actually Zion, because eventually, the athleticism is going to go, and he's going to be an undersized big man who can't jump at one point in his life. And I don't know how that's going to really work out for him. While you look at he's a point guard. Yes, the athleticism right now is off the charts, but as he continues to get stronger and learns how to play, I just feel like the ceiling for him is higher. And I think if they pay attention to that, but it's interesting to me because I think Anthony Davis, how many people are surprised that he leads? Like people will say, oh, he let in points. I can understand. He let in blocks. Oh, I can understand. Did you look at what he let in? He let in points per game, rebounds per game, steals per game, and blocks per game. The only thing that LeBron let in was assists per game. And, of course, he's going to lead in that because he's feeding Anthony Davis. How is it that this guy, we talk about LeBron James and what he has to prove. We talk about James Harden, Russell Westbrook with Houston, what they have to prove. We talk about Giannis. We talk about everybody and all this stuff. And it's like AD. I mean, we put more on him, like I said, Zion. We get more pressure on Zion. But Anthony Davis, in my opinion, there's no question. He's a top 5 NBA player, yet nobody talks about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely underappreciated for the level of talent he is. I agree with you. I think he's a top 5 player in the league, and pretty much when you talk about the Lakers, pretty much all you hear about is LeBron.
That's it.
And that's pretty much really, and I hadn't really thought about that in kind of in that context. You really don't. Nobody really talks about AD when they're talking about the Lakers. All you hear is LeBron. This is LeBron going to go crazy in the playoffs. I mean, that team's not going anywhere unless AD is right there with him putting up those numbers. So I definitely think that he should get more. They should talk about him more with that team. And for a rookie, I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen these kind of expectations put on a rookie. I mean,
Not since LeBron James, to be honest with you. And I hate to say this, I don't think Zion's a LeBron James either, and I almost feel bad for that kid because he's been put into that he's been put in the MJ LeBron James category, and he hasn't even played a whole season.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean, for the guy that's only played 20 plus games, I mean they're talking about him, but possibly can the Pelicans go get into 8 seed first and upset the Lakers and what Zion's going to do. We want Zion versus LeBron, and that is a lot of pressure to put on that kid. I mean, I know he's used to the spotlight, but I mean, just back off a little bit, man. Chill out on that, man, and let the kid develop. I mean, again, he's only played 20-plus games, so I do think that's crazy the kind of expectations are being lofted upon him right now.
Now, before I switch over to talk about some of these Tigers and all this other stuff, I wanted to ask you a question. Were you ever out there at Southwind and watch the old FedEx St. Jude Invitational, or what?
Man,
depending on what year?
I've never been out to it, but
man.
I watch it all the time. I've never got an opportunity to go out there.
Oh, well, then I'm going to have to make sure that you go out there next year when we can finally go out there, because it's
yeah,
a
man,
lot of fun.
We got fans out there, man. What about the snake out there yesterday, man? Did you see that?
No.
The other day? Yeah, man, there was a snake out there, I think, on the 12 green that they had it. It's not on Twitter. Put the video out. They talked about it on television. They had a whole segment on it. Man, there was a huge snake out there. It was crazy, man. I was like, that's in Memphis? I didn't know we had snakes like that out there, man. It was pretty wild, but
I didn't know anything about those snakes, but I'm going to make sure you get out there. But for the folks at home who are getting a chance to watch it, and it's unfortunate that the fans aren't out there because, I mean, you got Jason Day, who's at 2 under. You got, people like Ricky Fowler and Matt Kuchar and Brooks Koepka, who are up there in the leaderboard. DeChambeau's at 4 under. You got Ches Reavie and all this stuff. Like, it looks like it's a big deal. It looks like it's a lot of fun. You got some great, great names out there. So, man, I just think they're doing a great job. But I also want to talk about another guy who's doing a great job. And, of course, that is my man, Penny. Now, I want to ask you something. I also want to talk about our good friend Ryan Silverfield, who joined Drew Barrett and Gabe Kuhn this week. And I think he's doing a great job, too. But first and foremost, it's Hoop City. I got to get to a little bit of basketball. Everything seems like, again, Mike Miller's doing his thing, the high school thing. Penny's still able to, grabbing people, getting everything that he needs, getting, people in 2021 to sign. Everything looks fascinating. Now that they sent out, Williams and Nolly, they're waiting for that to come back. Right now, how are you feeling about just right now the Tigers, where they're going, and what, does Penny feel like how do I put this? The expectations last year were insanity. When he got here and was able to get, Alo and Tyler to both commit, it brought the city, it felt like, together. Expectations were still a little bit too high. A lot of national people were talking crazy stuff, especially, God, I can't even think of his name, the one who drives me crazy. That's going to make me mad. But, now it feels like, though, Penny's not just, he feels like he's not just finding his way. It feels like he knows exactly what the hell he's doing right now and what he wants. And I think what he wants is long, athletic, and big. Yeah. Because that's what he's going for right now. And I like what he's going to get. Do you agree with his style? And do you think that he's finally found, his coaching stroke, as we would say?
Yeah, I think he kind of had to recalibrate a little bit. I think when he took the job, so much was built up for last year, that first year with kind of Tubby's guys. He just kind of wanted to get through that season and try to be successful as possible. But everything was pointing toward last season with James Wiseman coming in and the guys that they brought in with that class. And things kind of didn't work out. You had Mike Miller leave. Of course, you had all the stuff going on with Wiseman. I think he had to kind of take a step back and say, how do I want to build this program long term? Because I think so much of their efforts were put into what was going to happen last season. And I think that was supposed to be kind of the launch pad to what they did in the future. And when that didn't work out, I think he kind of had to recalibrate. I think a lot of people thought, well, maybe this is not going to be as much a success as we thought it was when he got the job. But I think Penny knows exactly what he's doing. I think now he's looking more long term because you see, he's recruiting. They're offering guys in 22, 23 now. They're doing a fantastic job. And I think he wants to bring in, I think he's talked about, he wants to play this NBA-style offense, this up and down, positionless basketball. Yep. I think you look at this year's roster, I think they got it. And I think if you look at the guys they're going after in the future, I think they reflect it as well. Ontario Morris is 6'4", 180, a point guard right now. I actually think could grow and end up being a two guard or more of a combo guard. But he definitely wants long, lean, athletic guys who can get up and down the court. You thought he finally offered Chandler Lawson. He fits that mold as well. I think that's the direction they need to go. That's the direction that basketball is going in. If these guys, you want to get to the NBA, that's what these scouts want to see. They want to see guys getting up and down, athletic, dunking the basketball. And I think Penny knows how to coach that style of basketball. And I think he does these guys a great service, bringing them in and playing that way, and allows them to shine in front of the scouts. So I think he's doing a fantastic job, and I think it's only the beginning. And I know there was a lot of disappointment from last season, but I think this thing is just getting started, and I think he's thinking more long term now.
Man, I like it, and also I like this long, athletic type of ball player that it seems like he's constantly going after right now. And again, like I said, I feel like Penny just finally found his stroke.
Yeah.
And I think that the city, once like we get through this the Rona and we get back, last year, everything got canceled. I'm telling you, watch out because people look around and I know like Kansas and they got so many deadgum level 1 violations. Self is self-inflicted, a big old problem over there. But I'm telling you, man, we're going to be talking. I personally think over the next decade, we'll be talking about Penny with some of the great coaches out there in basketball because I think he's going to take this program to heights that it hasn't reached. I know it's been to 2 Final Fours, but deadgum, it's time to win one. I think Penny might do it. Now, Ryan Silverfield, I don't know how he's done this. Gabe he had no absolute question, knew he was the right guy. He's done better than Fuente. He's done better than Mike Norvell. He's been able to get more recruits than any other coach to commit. The highest recruiting class, blah, like you can just – he was great with, by the way, Gabe and Drew this week on Sports 56 Mornings. But, I mean, when you talk to him, he just – maybe it's the fact that he's so humble. He's easy to, talk to and deal with. I don't know what it is. Why is he kicking so much you-know-what on the trail right now?
I mean, he just gets it. Again, when Mike Norvell left for Florida State, I was beating that drum for Ryan Silverfield. I mean, if you talk to guys on this team over the last couple of years, to a man, they all love Ryan Silverfield. And no disrespect to Mike Norvell, but when Ryan Silverfield says certain things about this is where he wanted, because he had opportunities to leave. Like, if people don't know this, Ryan Silverfield could have had jobs all over the place, NFL, different college jobs. He decided to stay here because he said that long term, this is where he wanted to be. And when he says that, I really believe him. I know a lot of coaches say those kind of things, and then the first opportunity they have to jump ship, I mean, they're gone. But and that's not calling out Mike Norvell or anything like that. I believe Ryan Silverfield is 100% genuine. The players love him, and he just gets it on so many levels. Not only is he a great football coach, but he's a great advocate for the program. I mean, with all the social justice stuff, he's done a fantastic job with that.
Yeah, with the walk with the team. Yeah, he does get it, doesn't he?
He just does.
He just gets it.
The whole program, I mean, Larry Beach, I think, has done a great job in his short time here with that and empowering his guys. When you talk about Penny or Coach Silverfield, I think he's done a fantastic job with that as well. And, I mean, he's kicking butt recruiting, I think. And if these recruits, they talk to other guys on the team, I think they're able to sell Ryan Silverfield on him. And I think the coaching staff, all these guys, just get it. And I think that really helps in recruiting. It doesn't hurt that you got a brand new practice facility over there that I think it's going to be fantastic for this program as well.
Oh, man, I think it's going to be a game changer. Hey, he is Isaac Simpson. He joins me every single Thursday at this time at Isaac_Rivals. Check out TSR Live. He's with at Memphis Grizzlies. He covers the University of Memphis Tigers basketball, football. I can't think of something that you don't cover over at Memphis. TigerSportsReport.com, and give him a follow again at Isaac_Rivals. And always listen to him right here on Thursday. Isaac, be good, be safe out there, and have a great one. Enjoy the NBA tonight, my friend.
Man, real quick, man, kicker you, man. David Kemp, 5-star kicker, committed to the University of Memphis, man. Shout out Ryan Silverfield. Yeah, 5-star kicker, man.
Kicker?
5-star kicker, yes, sir. David Kemp, man, is going to be a Memphis Tiger, man. But as always, man, enjoy being on, man. I'll talk to you next week.
Hey, that's my good friend, and that's the kind of stuff you get from Isaac Simpson at Isaac_Rivals. Be back next Thursday, and always follow him. Take care, Isaac. That's my friend. Don't touch that dial, but remember one thing. Brian Elder Roofing Solution. Chris Price, Brian Elder, they hooked up together, 901-867-0303. If you need to fix your roof, if you're worried about storm damage, let me tell you something. You don't want water damage because it becomes a nightmare. Get on the phone right now, 901-867-0303. That's 867-0303. They're always going to be here for you, and they are literally the best in the business. Go check them out, residential, commercial. You can even check them out at BrianElderRoofing.com. But give them a call, 867-0303, for my friends at Brian Elder Roofing Solutions. We'll be right back. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Farmers Insurance knows that when you're in the car and that song comes on, yes, that's the one, you have no choice but to pull out your imaginary drumsticks and smash those cymbals and stomp on that kick pedal, which unfortunately is the accelerator pedal. And we covered it. Talk to a farmer's agent who knows a thing or two because they've seen a thing or two.
Call Chad Gatlin at 901-235-1176 or get a fast quote at memphisfarmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
And now a game of Commercial Chicken, brought to you by Progressive, where we see how long Flo can go without talking about insurance. Ready? Go.
Hi. Guess we should talk about something. How's the, vermicelli game in your town? Got any good Vietnamese restaurants? Vermicelli? Oh, it's a noodle. Very good. Drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
Okay, you win. We can't help but save customers money. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
All 75 months at 3.14 APR, G4, LHF 07822, Outlander LUO 28772, Eclipse LZO 16320. Includes all rebates and incentives, PF 59875, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Drive your ambition with a new ride from Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. 2020 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $149 a month with 41 MPG highway, or buy for $12,435. 2020 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport is ready for any adventure at $229 a month, or buy for $18,533. And cross over to summer in a 2020 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross, only $19,147 or $239 per month. And better yet, they're all backed by a stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Mirage G4, $149 a month. Outlander Sport, $229 a month. And Eclipse Cross, $239 a month. Feel safe and confident while shopping at Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
This is the sound of a blizzard treat at DQ, but it also sounds like a weekend bike ride, a post-game celebration, and a sunset on the dock. Wow, doesn't a blizzard treat sound good? Stop by DQ and grab one today, like new Oreo fudge brownie. Thanks for being the sweetest fans in the world. DQ, happy tastes good.
Now back to Johnny Radio's Happy Hour
Kick it over here. Kick it.
on Sports 56 and 87.7 FM. Here's your host, John Harden.
Gold and shackles, ball and chain. Listen to the whistle of the
Evening train. Oh, I'm so with you, and I'm here to make you some money. Who likes money? Me. I love money. But guess what? Let me tell you a little secret. Right now, I got a bet for you. A good bet. MLB baseball bet for you. I know basketball's going on. I'm fired up about some basketball. But dadgummit, I ain't laying 4.5 with the Lakers against the Clippers right now. Even though Sweet Lou's probably still quarantined because he's had, Magic City wings.
And Montrezl Harrell. What are you talking about?
They're dude, and Montrezl, man. But he didn't eat wings. That's not why. So, but the point is, there's a lot of stuff going on. We got basketball. The bubble's going to be awesome. But in baseball, I'm going to tell you how to make some easy cheddar tonight and why. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you how on Saturday, because beginning in August, biological plasma, and what I'm trying to explain to you is this is very important. This helps, plasma biologicals, whatever. Plasma biologicals, the important thing is, in August, they already take care of you for your time. But in August, they're going to pay every donor $100 on their first donation. And current donors that are receiving additional pay, you're going to get additional pay in August for coming back in if you've already been in there. But first-time donors, $100 starting this Saturday on August 1st, baby. That's the real deal, Holyfield. And remember, the important thing is you're helping out, like, literally everybody. We need plasma. Convalescent plasma is like the best thing to fight this right now. And if you have beat COVID-19, call 866-END CV19. That's 866 END CV19. So it's 866 END CV19. Let's get rid of the coronavirus. Let's get some money in your pocket. And I promise you, man, you'll feel good about it, and you'll have some cheddar that you can put on tonight's game. Plasma Biologicals, give them a call, because tonight I got an easy game. That's right. A lot of people would say Reds minus 20 over the unbelievable. I said Braves. I got the Braves stuck on my brain. They're playing the Cubs today, but Yu Darvish is pitching. Yu Darvish has been horrible. So let's take your money. Let's turn it. Let's double it. Let's triple it. Let's do whatever you want. In fact, it's now Cincinnati minus 110. It opened today at minus 20, so more people are taking the Cubbies. Yu Darvish, I'm sorry. I'm taking Luis Castillo. For Gabe Kuhn, I'm John Harden. I want all y'all to do me a favor. Enjoy the baseball. Enjoy the basketball. And do your part. Get out there and make the world a better place. I'll see y'all on the flip side. Peace!